Here's my F550 build. Was always scouring the government auctions and was in the middle of a Bronco build, so couldn't pull the trigger on a nice Overlander. Here's me having it fully apart, so I did the smart thing and finished it out. Was still super interested in that old camper, so circled back with the seller, and luckily he was looking to sell it. So my mind's racing, looking at picturing all kinds of bikes and surfboards and camping gear all over it with my adventurous and outdoor lifestyle. So headed up to Montana, Fortine, Montana, damn near next to the border. I live all the way down in SoCal, so middle of COVID, drove up there with a good buddy, and he was kind enough to come with, and I had an uncle who was right in Glacier Park, so you can see I'm way about an hour up from my uncle where he lived. So here's my buddy. We rented a car and headed up north to Montana, and here's Cathedral Valley, Utah, and absolutely gorgeous. No one on the roads, filling up for super cheap in the middle of Corona, and made it up to Fortine where we met Wild Bill, and he was a character. Had a crane on site, loaded us up, and we were on our way. Strapped it down and had about, it was 20 hours home, and did not make it too far before we had a wheel bearing breakdown. And good people out there, 200 something bucks, and we were on our way and made it home. After getting home, my dad was stoked on it. Wanted to try and buff the faded fiberglass to see how it would turn out, and quickly had to drop it off at my uncle's ranch for a few months before I had my own place. So found an F550 four-wheel drive of my own to put the camper on, and unfortunately it was in Springfield, Ohio. Very, very far, and unfortunately with the East Coast, that means rust. So I knew it had some rust on the cab, was hoping to salvage it, but either way, had a very long drive home and was pretty excited about it. It was toward the end of COVID. I knew gas was cheap, diesel was cheap, so I was getting quotes for like $3,500, $4,000 to ship it all the way back to SoCal, and decided to just drive it. It actually came from the water engineering, kind of the water supply for the city, and they said it's good to drive across the country, well maintained, and good to go. So these are the photos I had on the website. As you can see, I'm not afraid to go after a rocker panel, but all the way around you can see some rust. And the XL trim, so manual windows, manual everything, and frame looks good, cab no good. So get out there, and this thing's an absolute beast. This was where I filled it up, first gas station, and it feels and drives like anything I've ever driven. It is just heavy and beefy. Make it out to Springfield, start my journey, make it to Indianapolis, fill up in Missouri for $1.79, Texas, there's nothing on the 40 up there, and zoom on by to Barstow. As I start coming into Barstow, my cousins are saying,
I'm gonna back up.
Hey, how long are you gonna be there for? And I go, just trying to pass through. And they finessed me into grabbing about 8,000 pounds of railroad ties for a wood project they're doing. So this truck handled that no problem on the back, got it home, and wanted to get rid of that orange thing quick. So posted it, got 200 bucks for it, and this family was awesome. Just a blessing to be with these guys for a day. Whole family hung out, helped out, and got this thing home. So here's the F550 home without the orange utility box. Sold the box for 200 bucks and took about $500 worth of gas to get home, and weighed the car in New Mexico on a semi-scale, 10,660 pounds with that orange box. And took a huge amount of effort to get it off my uncle's ranch. Not gonna fly by that, and took the family and everyone. So took the drawers out, took the aluminum shielding, and just stoked with this base. It's 9 foot wide, not at the drawers, at the top piece, and each drawer has an LED and a magnetic strip, so each door you can know when it's open and wire it so that a light turns on the dash and within the drawer when that door is open. So huge drawer, and looking forward to laying all this out with its light being a square tubed and fiberglass shell. Start taking off the diamond plate for our pass-through on the front, and we can separate the top cap from the bottom fiberglass piece. So we want to be able to walk through from the cabin straight to the back while people are driving, and of course modeling off of an earth roamer and seeing how they lay out interiors. This isn't an earth roamer, but love how this one stands with the big 42s. So trying to figure out if we want it to be able to pop up and down with linear actuators so it can be a little lower while we're driving, or just commit and do fiberglass across the whole thing. But either way, bought MPT 81 tires, actually from this guy, kind enough to sell them to us for $600, his takeoff set. He is sponsored by Continental, I believe, so he gets wicked deals on them, and they look mean on this thing. So dropped the camper off on the side of the house, and we're diving in. While the camper was still in the truck, took it over to the beach down the street and took the car in for all it was, and just stoked to begin this process of taking it apart. And also had fun after we took the camper off, taking it up Saddleback Mountain. Gorgeous, gorgeous day, 6,000-ish foot elevation, and absolutely unbearably stiff with no weight on it, and aired down as far as I could where I wasn't scared of popping a bead, but still just back braking the whole way up. So we took the racks out that were from inside of it where fire department gear was, and propped the whole camper up on top of it, secured it with railroad ties. So we're confident leaning on this and working anywhere around it. As we progress with our build, we're going to share how much we're spending each step of the way. So I'll share this sheet hopefully with everyone. The truck, we're in $7,600, call it another $500 for diesel, driving it home from Ohio. The camper, $3,000, and tires, $600. The tires I got from RaceDezert. The camper I got from a government agency, and the truck another government agency. So we're sitting at about $12,000 right now. I've been looking into all kinds of parts and items that I want to buy for this, and estimating the costs so far. Easily over 40 grand worth of costs if we're not saving any money along the way. So we will see end tally. But right now we're at about $12,000 as this video is taking place. I'm shooting to keep the budget under $40,000 out the door for everything. The labor, the time, not going to include any of that. This is just time not spent in front of a TV and enjoying outside with the fiance. So we're looking to have this done by August 2022 and have it ready for my bachelor party, my brother's bachelor party. So stick with us as we're 3D scanning some awesome stuff and go through some serious obstacles physically. I break my leg real bad surfing, so that puts me out for 3 months. Always be grateful for family, friends, everybody around you. You get hurt, you need tons of help. So family, brother, helped with all kinds of different things with this project so far. We had to lay out stickers all over the camper to be reflective in order for a 3D scanner to pick them up. And we found out that typically at night it's best to scan. So here's my other cousin trying out the scanner as we're trying to model the whole interior and exterior of the camper. So you can see as we're going, it's called a 3D, it's a Shining 3D scanner. It's a EIN Pro 2X, I believe. And here's more of my friends helping me take the roof off. Absolutely hilarious, ripping up the rust and getting a new cab. So always be grateful to friends, always be helpful to family, and be appreciative of all their help. And stick with us as we're going to go through all this together and appreciate the support and going to enjoy building this out.